Hello everyone. In this video, you are going to learn this concept, exception handling, create custom exception, enum, oops, and calendar, and many more. So please don't skip the video, watch it. So for understood this video, we have to understood first of all the client requirement, right? So this started and ended is our input. So the whole concept is based on these two dates, right? So what I have to do, I have to save one request in DB. Here you can see, so this request started and ended is here is a input, right? And I have to save the request detail monthly wise, right? The input is 10th January to 20th April. So 10th January is started and 20 April is ended. And in request detail, I have to save four entries monthly wise, right? So January, February, March, April, this four date. So for January, our start date is 10th and the end date is 31st January. January month ki end date. For February, the start date is 1st February and end date is 20th February. For March, the same concept. And for April, we have to our end dates will 20 April here. This will, right? So, and one more thing we have to notice here, that a request detail should have address of request, right? So let's start the video. So first I have created a object here, request object here. In this request object I have ID, start date, and end date, right? And the getter and setter method for this request. And I have created a request detail object here. In this request detail object we have request ID, the address of this request object, right? This request ID, and start date, end date, and year, uh, for what entry we are going to save, and the month, and reporting period, monthly, yearly. So I told you we are going to learn the enum concept also here. So this reporting period is my enum. You can see here in enum class I have created a enum reporting period monthly, right? So like this we can create a enum. This enum I have used here. And after that, in this class I have gather settled, and one toString method here also. So toString method will override and print this object. If we not override toString method, so we are, if we print this object, so our system.out.print will print the address of this object, right? It will not print the values, request detail, started, ended, here. It will print the address, like. So now let's start our logic. So first of all, I have created a method here. So here we have to give a request input, right? Uh, and first, at the first, I have check the start date and end date, right? As an input. If these things are null, we are going to return throwing exception here. Request body is missing, and I have created a custom exception here, app exception. So for creating custom exception, you can see here we have to extend exception class for creating a custom exception, right? And this custom exception I have thrown here in logic, right? After that I have created a request here, and request dot get start, request dot uh, ended, and started ended I have saved here, right? So it's very simple to save a request. The logic part is for request details, right? So uh, I have got a request ID here, by JPA repository. If you save, it will return ID, right? ID of this request, whatever we are going to save. After that, I have created a calendar instance for started here. In this started, I have set input.get start time, right? After that, I have created an instance for the end date, calendar instance for the end date, and end date dot set time. After that, I have created a temp date. why I created this, I will explain you in some time, right? You will automatically get it why I have created this template, right? In this template I have set it started here, get time, and template set. So what it does, after executing this line, our template will become first date of the month which is started, like 10th January of started. So temp date after this line, temp date will become 1st January, right? And here by this line, it will, after executing this line, our temp date become next month first date, right? So our start date is 10th January. After this line, our temp date will become 1st February, right? And after executing this line, our temp date will become last date of February month, next month. So just write it here also, next month last date. So I have not saved here details here. So I just created a list here for details. So in this template dot before, I have run a loop here, right? Template before end date. So our template is now uh, 1st February, sorry, 31st February, 28th February, and end date is 20 April. So this loop will execute, and I have created a request detail here, right? And I have set it a temp here, and you can see enum value request detail monthly, and I have added this in the request details, right? After that, I have set started and month started, updated started next month first, next month की पहली date. After that, you can see here I have updated the temp date अगले month की last date. So now our temp date will become 31st of March, right? I don't know what date of March is. So 31st of March, right? Yes. So 31st March is still less than 20 April. So again, it will execute it, and we are going to save our entry in this loop. And after this, our next temp date will become 30 April, right? So 30 April is less than 20 April. So this will execute, this will break. Now, why I have written it again here? Because here you can see, right? It will only execute it for last date. But I have 20 April date. So you can see here 20 April date here. So for 20 April date, I have to save it, right? And this here, I am going to print it here, right? So let's run and observe this. Observe its object. 1 minute. I have created a main method here for executing it, and a simple date format, date, month, year. So it will format our this to into date, right? Start date and end date, 10th January, and let's change it to 20 April, right? And request here, I have created an input request here, set it here, input started and end date. And here is try catch block. Our try catch block is for this parsing, and this try catch block is for our this particular method, because we are here throwing API response exception, app exception, right? Okay, so let's run this. Yeah, you can see the first entry 10th January to 31 January. The second entry is for 1st February to 29 February. Third entry is 1st March to 31 March. And the fourth one is 1st April to 20 April. Right? So if you like this video, please do subscribe. I will daily share my work here only in this channel. Like, uh, so thank you everyone for watching the video.